Today, we're going to talk about how much it costs to own a Porsche Boxster. Hey guys, my name is Brian and welcome to my YouTube channel, I Drive a 9. Today, we're going to take a look back over 1 year of ownership on our budget Boxster build here on the channel. A year ago around this time, we purchased a 2001 Porsche Boxster S 6-speed for $1,000. And it didn't run, and we knew this. It was smoking and clanking and would barely move under its own weight. I have a video of it here that you can check out. So we spent $1,000 to buy this basket case of a car. It took us a couple $100 to get it towed to the house so we could start in. And I've taken some notes here to kind of go through what it's cost us to rebuild this car and give you an idea of what it would take to do this on your own if you haven't had a chance to watch all of our videos. So besides the tow and the purchasing, we had to replace the motor. We had to search for it. We had an option to do an LS swap, which we weren't too keen on. We had an idea to take the motor and have it rebuilt professionally, which put us in a price range of about $15,000. We really didn't want to spend it on a car that tops was maybe worth $10,000 with its mileage of over 200,000 miles. So we opted to buy a used motor. So we started doing some research and we found a 3.2 liter motor out of a 2001 Porsche Boxster that was wrecked in California. Engine was still in good shape. So we purchased the motor, had it shipped from California here to Arizona. That cost us right at about $3,200, including the shipping. Here's a video on doing that. Next, we took the time to go through and assess all the problems while waiting for the motor that this Porsche was going to need. We made a video about everything that was wrong and how much it was going to cost to fix our 2001 Porsche Boxster S. Next thing we did while we were there is we took a look at the AOS, the RMS, and IMS. The RMS had just been done, the IMS had been done, so the only thing left to do was replace the AOS. And while the motor was out, that's the best time to get in there to replace the AOS. It's a pain in the butt to replace it in the car, but it's a quick 5-minute job if that engine's out. So for $125, we went ahead and replaced the AOS in the car before it went in. Our first big problem after getting the motor into the car, we have a whole series of videos on how to do it yourself. And honestly guys, me and a couple buddies, over a weekend, we were able to get the old motor out, get the new motor out of the bed of the pickup truck from the delivery, and get it back up into our Porsche Boxster and hook it all up. Couple guys, no air compressor, just hand tools and basic tools. And a lot of things we borrowed from friends, like a cherry picker. We were able to do it. So if me and a couple guys and some late nights and some beer can do it, I think you guys can too. The next hurdle was when we went to start it, it wouldn't start. And it turned out that the immobilizer that sits underneath the car seat in the Porsche Boxster in Carreras 996s is under the driver's seat and will get wet. And if it gets wet, it's toast. So we had to pull it out, take our ECU, which then we found, and I'll link a video here, the ECU that was in the car didn't belong to the car. It was at around 2.7. So how that ECU was running that 3.2 engine, we were still baffled by. But we took the ECU, we took the immobilizer and the key, and we sent it off to a company to have them reprogram it and sync all items together. And that came back. That was about $1,200 to $1,300 to have that service done. Not cheap at all. Next, we found ourselves needing to replace the driver's side window regulator, and here's a video on that. Only thing I can say is just buy a Porsche brand window regulator. Don't go cheap. Don't buy it off Amazon like we did. Opt out for an actual Porsche part on that one, guys. Next thing that came along was chasing down some fuel issue problems. And we have several videos here on that. We eventually figured out it was a mass airflow sensor that we replaced for about $150. And then we found out it was also our fuel pressure regulator, which was another $150 to replace it. And again, we opted for all OEM brand stuff. And I know you can buy mass airflow sensors off eBay for about 15 to 20 bucks, but take my word, stay away from those. Just spend the money and buy the Bosch unit OEM Porsche. Next, we found ourselves having replaced the fuel filter. And on the early cars, the fuel filter is right in the middle of the car underneath the belly pans. A couple minutes to take those pans off, a couple minutes to undo some hoses, put the new filter in, and you're back up and running. We have a video on how to replace your fuel filter. Simple, easy, $40 maintenance item that you do every couple of years. On the later Boxsters and Carreras, that fuel filter is inside the tank with your pump. So that's a whole fuel pump, fuel filter replacement if it goes out on you. Next thing that progressed to our problem was replacing the battery. That was easy. That was just a trip to Walmart to buy one of their batteries, and $120 to some later, we had a new battery up, rocking and rolling. Next on our list was to replace the struts. We decided to go back to the place where we bought the motor from and see if they had those struts for the car, as it was a front end accident. And they did, and they replaced them not too long ago. So we got a sweet deal on those struts and had them shipped over. And again, in an afternoon or a Saturday, with the video here, we were able to replace our rear struts on the car. Now, we did have to spend $150 some to have it realigned, but it was worth it because that car drove so much better after replacing those rear struts on the car. Next thing to go out on us was a starter. And if you ever get stranded in your Porsche Boxster or your Carrera, this video here will show you what to do step by step to try to figure out what the problem is, how to fix it, how to get you back on the road. Our issue turned out to be a faulty starter. So again, instead of going cheap, we went and bought a Bosch starter for our car, about $250. Here's the video on replacing the starter. I have to admit, guys, replacing the starter on these M96 motors, the Carreras and the Boxsters, is a pain in the ass because you have to remove part of the intake to get to the starter because the starter is on top of the motor instead of on the bottom of the motor like so many other cars. Pain in the butt, but it's doable. $250 for that. Beyond that, just the little maintenance, like we bought new hood shocks, we bought light bulbs and different things like that, some paint to fix up the interior, put a video there to our interior. We spent another $100 in parts for things. So grand total, how much did it cost us to repair and fix and get our Boxster running again? About $6,500 to buy the engine, to get the immobilizer fixed, struts, and just parts along the way. And a lot of this was maintenance parts. But what if we already own the Boxster? And what if we didn't need a replacement motor? And what if we didn't need to have the immobilizer fixed? What did it really cost us for 1 year of ownership? Under $1,000. And you might be thinking, well, that's a lot. But in comparison, take the 2001 Porsche Boxster we have and my daughter's 2005 Honda Accord, and we spent about the same in a year on just doing simple maintenance and repairs as things popped up while cars age. So in my opinion, is the Porsche Boxster a good buy? I tend to think it is. If you can find one sorted out, or if you're in a position to rebuild it like we did, I think it's a good idea to buy one that needs help, fix it, and enjoy it as much as you can. All right, guys, this wraps it up on our Porsche Boxster build 1 year report. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you're a Porsche Boxster owner or looking to buy a Porsche Boxster and you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button down below. We'd love to have you join us here on the channel. We have more content coming. We're in the stages of looking at either a Cayman or a Cayenne to add to the channel. So if one of those two cars interests you, leave me a comment below and let me know which one you think we should get. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take a moment, go back, watch some of the videos if you've missed them. And if you're in the market for a Boxster, watch this video here on what to look for when you're trying to buy a used Boxster on your own. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good one.